So my name's Peter Cawston. I'm a GP. I work in Drumchapel in Glasgow. I've worked there for about 16 years now. I'm part of a fantastic little team. We call ourselves Garscadden Burn Medical Practice. The team's made up of doctors and nurses and receptionists and a practice manager and healthcare assistant and a links worker. So as I say, I've worked there for about 16 years. And over those years, perhaps the most important part of my job has been listening to people's stories. And some of those stories are really happy stories of families that rally around and support each other, of people showing kindness, of people getting better from really difficult circumstances. But a lot of those stories are very sad, and some of them are quite tragic, of people losing their health, of people losing other people that they love, and sometimes of people having their hearts broken or their minds broken. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned over that time is that as a doctor, I'm not able to fix people. It would be nice to be a kind of engineer who can take the broken bit out and put a new bit in, but that isn't how it works. But the other thing I've learned is that people have an amazing capacity for healing, and really my role as a doctor is to often just watch that healing happening without doing very much apart from just being there. And sometimes perhaps there's an opportunity to tweak that process a little bit. If it's in the physical side of things, for example, a surgeon depends on the body healing itself from after they cut through the tissues. And if I prescribe medication, all I'm doing is trying to tweak the system a little bit, but waiting for the body to heal itself. It's the same with the mind. We don't heal other people's minds, we don't fix them. The mind isn't a machine that can be broken and fixed. But we have evolved amazing capacity to heal our minds. Now sometimes with a little bit of science that can be tweaked, whether it's through depression treatment or pain treatment, but that's not curing the problem, it's not healing the person, it's just perhaps tweaking the system a little bit. So the question I've asked over the years is what is it that we've evolved as our kind of immune system for our mind? How is it that our minds heal? Over the 100,000 years that we've walked the planet as human beings, probably every person or very few people haven't experienced tragedy and heartbreak, whether it's losing children, losing adults, older people, whether it's witnessing terrible things or feeling great sadness. And somehow the humans, we seem to manage to recover, we seem to manage to heal ourselves. So the question is, what is it that we do to do that? When we use the term social prescribing, it sounds like quite a technical term, but the way I think of it is really about trying to help people tap into those things that we've evolved that help us to heal. So what is it that we use for healing our minds? Well, primarily we use relationships. We use talking, and we use music. If you look at every society around the world, one of the core things that we do is we sing and we dance as a way of healing our minds. We use creativity in other ways, whether it's visually, the way we dress, the way we decorate our houses, perhaps more formally through painting and art and so on. But fundamentally, speaking, relationships and music are some of the core, if you like, immune systems of our brains that help us to heal. So when I prescribe an antidepressant, I'm not trying to substitute for that immune system any more than when I prescribe an antibiotic. I'm still relying on the body's immune system to heal from an infection. I might be tweaking a little bit or perhaps giving a little bit of a helping hand, but we still depend on that immune system. Now we think of counselling as a way of fixing people. Counselling is tapping into the talking side of our mind's immune system. And it can be very important. There have been lessons learned, particularly over the last 20 years, about the kinds of things that we can talk about that can help us to heal, particularly from really terrible tragedy and really terrible hurt. But I think that music is also something that we should be tapping into much more. And so when I heard about music on prescription, I thought it was a great idea, because perhaps we don't get together and sing in quite the ways we used to. And maybe less of us feel able to sit down in a little group and make some music. But we do still rely very much on music as a way of healing our hearts and healing our minds. And so I'm certainly very keen as a GP to promote that idea through my practice, to try and encourage people to use music, to use song. Songs evoke memories, songs evoke people that we love, songs evoke things that are important to us, and also songs, often through song we can express feelings and realize that other people have the same emotions as us. So when I hear someone singing and I vibrate to the same feeling, I recognize that I'm not alone, I'm not the only person who feels that way. And perhaps looking at music on prescription has made me think more carefully as a doctor about the role of music. It's not something I've really encouraged over the years, the way I'm going to from now on. So I'm delighted to be able to support this venture, and I hope that music will be recognised more and more as part of the immune system, the tools that people have. And my role as a doctor, I think, is to help signpost people in that direction, to encourage people to tap into their own mechanisms for healing, their own ways of healing, and music is one of them. So as a GP, I'm always looking for new things to prescribe. Now, in the past, I used to look for new drugs, but in fact, I found more and more tools of things I can prescribe. I've prescribed exercise, I've prescribed counselling, I've prescribed joining groups, I've prescribed volunteering, and now I'm going to be able to prescribe music, and I'm excited about that. And I'm going to encourage my other colleagues to do the same. So I'm pleased that I'm going to be able to, in the near future, prescribe music on prescription as another way of helping people to find ways of healing themselves.